Welcome to the JAMODI podcast, where we interview coaches and leaders to find out not just what they do, but how they do what they do. Becoming the best version of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. Okay, so I think that's a perfect segue to the 200-point game. And I can't imagine how many times you've been asked about it or want to talk about it. I watched it with I had my son. We YouTubed it and I watched it, but with him, and he couldn't believe the way the scoreboard looked, at the end and stuff. But so I loved. I saw an interview you did about right after the game,
right
in the locker room, almost by yourself, kind of that feeling that you had of what had just happened. But
yeah. So first of all, as you know, Matt, you can't prepare for that.
Right.
I mean, you can't say, let's go out and score 200 tonight. And I want to say this, it was against a team that we lost to the directly prior game to that. There's a conference team. We lost to them the game after we played 200, and we scored 200 in the middle. This team happens to run with us. Not every team runs with us. They had some athletes and they chose to continue to run with us. And so it's not going to happen unless the other team also continues to run and they don't give up. So like if they were to ever give up and put in players that you could tell were not part of the normal rotation, but they kept trying to score. They kept trying to score quickly. And so with about 6 minutes left, we had 170 some points. And I said, man, the holy grail of our system style is, can you score 200? I mean, Paul Westhead even said, George, there's one thing I don't like about you. I said, what? He goes, you already scored 200. I said, oh, but you can't recreate that. It will never happen again. I had a board member say, when are you going to score 200 again? I just laughed. I said, we're never going to score 200 again. I mean, maybe it could happen, but we didn't plan for it. We weren't playing, a weak team, areas of the plane or something that we paid to come in here and play. This was a conference team. They beat us probably, if we played them the last 5 times, they probably beat us 3 of the 5. But the point was they ran with us. And so with 173 points with about 6 minutes to go, I turned to my assistant and I said, as long as they keep running, we're going to keep running. As long as they keep trying to score, we'll keep trying to score. And so it got up to 198 with 10 seconds. This is where a couple of people questioned whatever, because we were beating them by 50. But they kept running. They kept coming back. They never put in their, subs. I mean, we were playing our normal rotations as well. Everybody had played in the game. And so it was 198 with 10 seconds to go. And it was their ball. And I said, timeout. We had just scored. And I said, guys, here's the deal. You're never going to get a chance to score 200 again, ever. And I don't care if you get it or not. But I want you to give yourself a chance to get it. I want you to take a shot at it. So when the ball comes in bounds, try to get a steal. If you don't get a steal, foul.
Yeah.
Just get the ball back. Give yourself a chance. If you don't get it, you don't get it. And the gym was, pretty electric with, okay, I'm going to get 200. And so the ball came in bounds. We trapped. We couldn't get a steal, but we fouled. He missed a shot. We go down, and the kid, our really good point guard, shoots, misses, and another guy, I mean, he's like a 6-foot post player, tips it in, and I go, wow! And then I take my hands down quickly because I thought, I don't want to over celebrate. I mean, we did score 200. We crushed the other team, but I don't want to hurt their feelings. Well, as we got through the line, the other coach, he did well the first time through, but the second time he doubled back around and he, lit me up a little bit. And then, and I had some of their fans get on us a little bit. But we go to the locker room and I told the kids, I said, you just went to the moon. Like nobody gets to go to the moon. Like you just did something that's pretty incredible. And later that summer, I called the coach and I said, hey, I don't know if you're still sore. He said, I'm still pretty sore. And I said, well, can I get together? Let's talk. And so I went to Brooks Brothers, bought him a really nice tie. Nice. I said, this is a peace offering. I said, maybe I misread the situation. You and I have been coaching against each other for 20 years. You beat me plenty of times. And, I thought against all the coaches that, in the conference that you may understand it. Maybe I misread the situation. But we talked through it. We arrived at a really good spot. And I think the fact that he's beat me the last couple games, helps also soothe that. But it's just a unique situation. And another coach in our conference said, hey, maybe you should call all the coaches and say you're not going to score 200 again. I said, I'd be glad to do that. Here's what I'm going to say. First of all, I'm going to say I'm never going to score 200 again. Second, I'm going to say I'm going to try every game to score 200. And he goes, oh, you're right. He goes, that's stupid. Like, yeah, it's just sort of a once in a lifetime thing that happens. And if it ever happens again, I would be shocked. I'd be a lot more shocked if it happened than if it didn't. So
yeah, but it does go back to that culture that you're asking them to do, which is to give you everything.
Yeah,
give you everything. So you can't with that in reach, you can't look at your team that gives you everything every day and say, all right, now less than your best.
Right.
You can't do that.
No, right. And so it was really fun. It was a senior day. It was pretty packed crowd, and 10 times out of 10 I would have done it again. And I told my assistant before, after that timeout with 10 seconds to go, I said, I'm calling that timeout, and I want to give the kids a chance, and I'm not going to regret this.
Yeah,
that I did that. I know. I turned to him. I said, I know I'm going to take some heat. I'm going to take maybe some national, heat. I mean, and it was a little bit. I mean, ESPN, a couple guys questioned it. It was mainly more of a fantastic story. 9 positives to 1 negative, but there was going to be some negatives, and it wasn't everybody's cup of tea. And
the quote unquote purists out there. Yeah.
I had friends call me from the East Coast to the West Coast that I haven't talked to since high school and said, oh my goodness, that's the team you're coaching. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So it's fun. And it really is a conversation starter or piece. So, yeah.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.